Now we're going to talk about a couple of aggressive growth stocks that our aggressive growth stock strategist, Brian Bolan, has in his personal portfolio. And why? Well, that's what we're going to try and find out. Yeah, why? The why is what everybody wants to know, my friend.
Right. The why is kind of the big idea. And, these are stocks we've talked about in the past.
Yep.
But I think, after doing these videos, I decided, these are certain ideas that I really liked, and I put my own personal money into them. So with that, you got a little bit of extra faith coming out of me.
All right. Well, the first one's Pilgrims Pride, chicken.
Right. And I'm not chicken to be an owner of this poultry producer.
Okay.
They just recently reported earnings. And I think the thing that really struck me was how much earnings estimates moved higher during this quarter. I believe it started out about 30 cents, ended at about 57, and the company reported earnings of 74 cents. So it was a really big beat. 32% was the amount of the beat. And it was really surprising to me that, that the earnings could move up that dramatically inside of one quarter.
Yeah, nothing paltry about this poultry producer's beat.
Excellent. You
You have to get up early in the morning, my friend.
Right. I want to hit the drumsticks here. But I think the thing is here, I was looking at this company for quite a while, and last year, we talked a little bit about corn and the corn prices, how that went up in the drought. This year, corn is at pretty much 3-year lows. We're looking at probably a bumper crop. We've great growing season. So the feed input cost is something that, I was keying on for some time, thinking that was really the important part of this mechanism that's driving the stock higher. But that really isn't it as much as supply and demand. You're seeing beef prices, red meat prices, all very high, very strong, very stable. So chicken is, of course, going to be less expensive than that. So when you're having those beef prices really high, the chicken prices are going to seem that much more attractive.
Yeah, look at what they did with the hamburger in a test tube. How much that cost?
Yeah, I know.
$300,000. Take on a drink and French fries. You got a pretty expensive lunch, man.
$333,000 if you do the combo meal.
Right.
But yeah, when you're Sergey Brin, $300,000 for lunch, it's no big deal.
You said rising beef prices. I just added that.
Right. But it was a great story there. Obviously this is a Zacks #1 ranked stock. We really like it here. And if you look at the chart, it's really moved up quite nicely. What do I expect going forward? As I listened to this conference call and then to the competitor, TSN, which is Tyson Foods, they kept on saying that chicken is looking very strong for the next 6 months. At this point, I just...
From a consumption standpoint?
From a supply and demand, as well as pricing. So their pricing is moving up. Supply is still constrained. So it looks really good for the chicken producers here.
Okay.
The idea here is I just recently closed on a short sale. I know that there's going to be a new HVAC system coming. And I have determined that the amount of money that I've put into this stock will net me a brand new HVAC system.
Well,
so
good for you.
It could take me 6 months, but I don't think it's going to take me that long to get to my price target on this, which is about $25.
All right. Tell us about this other one, Herbalife.
Herbalife,
potato.
Right. Some people call it whatever they want.
Right.
This is after you've eaten all that chicken, you need to lose some weight. And I haven't had enough chicken, but I'm certainly going to be eating a lot more of it, obviously, since I own some chicken. But Herbalife isn't something I'm going to be going after, but a lot of people do use this for weight loss.
Oh.
This as well has had great earnings momentum lately, and I think this is one of Tracy, our value expert, one of her favorite stocks because it has not missed in like 6 or 7 years. Company has guided Wall Street, very well to always end up beating the number. And that's all good, and great and everything, but you really have to crush the number. And I think that's what they did this most recent quarter. Estimates were calling for $1.19. They reported $1.41.
That's 18%, right, roughly?
That's some quick math by you, Terry.
Yeah, I read well.
Yeah. So yes, 18% beat. And that's a great thing. The other thing that's going on with Herbalife, and the real reason that I think everyone kind of needs to own this, is the short squeeze potential. You have Bill Ackman coming out and saying that he's short $1 billion worth of the stock in December of 2012. The stock promptly goes from in the mid 40s to low 20s, and then has since come all the way back. Today it's hit a brand new 52-week high of $68 today before trading back a little bit. But the idea is that he's short a ton. Carl Icahn has come in and bought a ton. And now George Soros, who used to have money with Bill Ackman, the guy who was short, has taken all of his money out of Ackman's funds and has now gone long on Herbalife, making a long position there.
Wow.
And the idea is now that they're talking about a potential Dutch tender offer. So the company would look to buy back a percentage of shares and set a floor price and a maximum price. And inside of that idea, if they do that, all the shorts are going to have to cover. So you would have a titanic short squeeze. You know, I think if we take a look at the chart here, it's a Zacks number 2 ranked stock, and you can see, you know, the dip down in December and now all the way back up, approaching $70 a share. If they do some sort of, you know, 10% of the Dutch tender for 10% of the shares outstanding, you could have a rocketing move to maybe $100, maybe even $125 a share. You know, over the long term, over the next 6 months, this is a very likely scenario to play out when you have several billionaires plowing into the stock. Ackman says he hasn't even covered one share. So there is really a good potential here to make a lot of money on something that seems like it's pretty much a no-brainer.
Interesting. That'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Right.
Well, I don't have to ask you if you own these, because we've already established that, but I will remind you that we do have other stock picks for your consideration, and they're on our website, Zacks.com, accessible right off the home page, and they change often, so check back often. With Brian, I'm Terry Ruffalo.